we're gathering unique insights really on a couple of aspects. The first one is really around technical rollout of mini-grids. The second one is around consumer demand. The next important piece is the willingness to pay, because, when you're really looking at rural areas in India, there is that myth around people's ability to pay. And we're seeing that customers making clear choices. So even in some of the villages where we have our mini-grids, the grids have arrived, where the tariff is much lower than what is being charged through the mini-grid that being set up. So people are going in for the expensive option because they're looking for reliable energy. So that's an important breakthrough for us. The next important aspect is the impact on economic and social life that has given us confidence on the viability and scalability of the smart power model. So for example, right now we have 85 operational plants and we have over 4,700 customers, including households, micro-enterprises and telecom towers. After getting connected to our mini-grids, about 3/4 of the micro-enterprises reported an increase in customer base. Many of the commercial establishments also started to diversify and expand their businesses. The telecom tower operators are also relying a lot less on diesel as a backup. So I think these have been some of the significant breakthroughs that we have seen through this initiative.
That's fantastic. And you mentioned there are a number of different stakeholders in terms of the businesses and the consumers. What are some of the key actions from those stakeholders that have enabled you to get so far as you have with the project?
So let me start with the policymakers, and we're really working very closely with them to really promote an enabling environment that will facilitate investment in the mini-grid sector. There's now concrete action which is being taken by the national and state level policymakers and the regulators to really align the mini-grid development and streamline the approval processes so that this is significantly reducing the uncertainty and increasing the market opportunity. Because so far, if you talk to any developer, one of the biggest risks that they were facing was that there wasn't really any policy framework that they could really fall back on in case there were any challenges that they faced. So I think this has been something that is pretty significant. For example, with the Ministry of Renewable Energy, we worked around seeing how within the off-grid and decentralized application program, particularly around the National Solar Mission, how they've incorporated this whole mini-grid framework and how they're going to be supporting that sector. So I think that is pretty significant. The forthcoming mini-grid policy in the state of Uttar Pradesh is also a welcome sign, where we are seeing the state government is keen to leverage the full potential of the sector by creating a more favorable environment for investors, energy-serving companies, and entrepreneurs. We're working very closely with 5 energy-serving companies who are actually operating these 85 plants on the ground. We're also seeing a number of new energy-serving company entrants into the market, many of whom now can benefit from the technical support that our partner, Smart Power for India, that we created as a subsidiary of Rockefeller, is doing to get them to become market ready. Another important stakeholder are the community organizations with whom we are working, such as TARA, which is really helping the energy-serving companies with community engagement, board acquisition, as well as micro-enterprise development work. The mini-grid sector, of course, needs a range of investors to build the market. And we're in the process of really helping in setting up a mini-grid financing facility that can blend different forms of capital to help drive the sector. So this, in a nutshell, is the kind of range of stakeholders with whom we are working to really promote the mini-grid sector within India.
Finally then, and just in terms of how to achieve even greater scale, what do you think would be some of the ways that it will be able to catalyse that kind of scale in India?
Increased capital investment and an enabling policy environment are going to be critical to reach scale. There is really a requirement for capital investment from a broad spectrum of channels that is needed. We as a foundation are really invested in attracting more commercial investors into the space, and will be collaborating with others to establish an off-grid financing vehicle in 2016. I think that is really going to be important to get scale. On the policy front, we believe that the alignment of mini-grid development with the National Electrification Program will bring more investor confidence and help the developers in terms of the ease of business. Once their operational frameworks and technical protocols are adopted by central and state governments, there will be enormous potential for mini-grids to not just be an interim measure, but to coexist with the national grid. And I think this is really going to be important. India and the Indian companies can be at the forefront of the global mini-grid sector by the government really focusing more on the policy framework, which will really help attract a lot of investments, because I think the needs in India are pretty significant and there's not one player that can really respond to it. So I think really working across the different stakeholders and getting them together so that there's more synergy is really going to be how India can achieve scale and really reaching out to the millions of our rural villagers who still don't have access to reliable energy.